7 women, surrounded by 193 men, 200 meters offshore, no escape for 6 weeks straight. And every single day they are being watched. This is not a social experiment, it is a job. One that pays up to $150,000 a year, but comes with a price most people would never be willing to pay. Only 3.6% of offshore oil rig workers are women. That is roughly 7 women for every crew of 200. And while the paycheck might look incredible, the daily grind of living in this isolated, male-dominated world breaks most of them within 5 years. Less than 15% make it past that mark, but the ones who stay, they have figured something out. Something about endurance, respect, and what it really takes to prove yourself when the odds are stacked against you. The alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning, no snooze button. On an oil rig, time isn't a suggestion. The cabins are maybe 8 feet by 10 feet. A bed, a locker, a tiny desk, and that's it. Every personal belonging for the next 6 weeks fits in one metal locker. But here's what most people don't realize. Women having their own cabins isn't luxury. It is policy, mandatory. Human resources require single occupancy for women, especially when they are the only one in their department. It is about privacy, but it is also about safety. The walls are thin. Footsteps echo in corridors, voices carry, doors slam 3 rooms down. Sound travels fast out here, and so do rumors. 200 people live on these rigs. They sleep there, they work there, they eat there. And for 6 weeks at a time, there is no leaving. You are trapped. Everyone knows it. Population density is intense. 200 bodies compressed into a space smaller than most apartment buildings. Every bunk, every shower, every meal is scheduled down to the minute. There is no place to disappear. You are always visible, always accounted for. And when you are one of 7 women, that visibility doubles. Those heavy doors, they are the only barrier between women and 193 pairs of eyes. Every morning, they open that door, and another 12-hour shift begins. By 6:30 a.m., everyone is in safety briefings. 20 people crammed into small rooms, standing shoulder to shoulder. Supervisors run through yesterday's hazards, valves that needed checking, loose railings, weather warnings. Everyone is listening, but not everyone is paying the same attention. When women step into these circles, the scrutiny sharpens. Glances linger too long. Pauses happen before someone responds to their questions. Proving technical skill is not a one-time thing out here. It is a daily ritual. And it happens under the gaze of men who have been doing this job for years. Women know their jobs, but out here, being good is not enough. You have to be flawless, because the moment you slip, someone is watching, and someone is remembering. The work itself is brutal. 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer. Climbing stairs, hauling tools, checking valves, running diagnostics. Every task is physical and demanding. Industry guidelines estimate that technicians burn around 3,500 calories a day. The same as miners or construction workers. Bodies are constantly moving, constantly burning fuel. By noon, coveralls are covered in grease. Sweat soaks through everything, but there is no stopping. For years, the equipment was the problem. Coveralls, gloves, harnesses, all sized for men. Women had to improvise, rolling sleeves, cinching belts, wearing boots that were a size too large. It was not just uncomfortable, it was dangerous. Ill-fitting gear made every step up a ladder a calculated risk. When harnesses do not sit right, when gloves are too big to grip wrenches properly, when boots slide with every step, you are not just uncomfortable, you are unsafe. In 2023, Shell expanded its personal protective equipment range by 30%. Now, female safety officers can reach for harnesses that fit their frames. They can clip in knowing their equipment will hold. Women who experience the change say the same thing. I never realized how much energy I wasted on discomfort until it stopped. But not every hazard is visible. The 12-hour shifts grind on. Fatigue builds quietly. Offshore, sleep is currency. According to Dr. Ingrid Fossum's 2013 study, most workers average just 6.5 hours during night rotations. That's not enough when jobs require constant focus and precision. Restless nights in narrow bunks, the constant hum of ventilation, the knowledge that alarms could sound at any hour. Alarms wear people down. For women, the strain is layered. The need to stay alert, to avoid mistakes, to prove competence under constant scrutiny. It makes rest elusive. Fatigue isn't just about feeling tired. Studies link it to lapses in judgment, slower reaction times, higher risk of accidents, a missed step on a steel stair, a moment's delay in shutting a valve. These are the margins where error slips in. So, they push through. Another cup of coffee, cold water on their faces, keep moving, because the alternative is unthinkable. The memory of disaster lingers on every rig. Piper Alpha, 1988, North Sea. 167 men died in an explosion so massive it could be seen from the mainland. Ross's 2009 study found that 70% of survivors showed symptoms of PTSD. Safety reforms swept through the industry after that. New protocols, new equipment, new training, but the sense of risk never fully faded. Every worker knows the cost of a single mistake. One wrong valve, one missed alarm. That's all it takes. For women, the pressure is doubled by visibility. The expectation is not just to do the job, it is to never give anyone a reason to doubt them. One mistake, and it is not just their mistake. It is proof that women do not belong. That is the unspoken weight women carry. Every decision they make, every task they complete, it is not just about them. It is about every woman who will come after. And that weight, it is exhausting. So, why stay? Why endure this? The pay is part of it. Salaries start at $80,000 and can reach $150,000, nearly 50% higher than similar jobs on land. For a lot of women, that kind of money is life-changing. Retention tells its own story. Alien Energy's 2024 report shows fewer than 15% of women last 5 years offshore. Exit interviews echo the same themes: isolation, constant vigilance, the fatigue of being watched. One technician, after 3 years, wrote that she needed to see another woman every day, not just her face in the bathroom mirror. It is the loneliness that gets them. Being the only woman in departments, the only woman at tables, the only woman in rooms. You can be surrounded by 200 people and still feel completely alone. But the ones who stay sometimes find something unexpected. Skogstad's 2010 study compared 24 women and 613 men on Norwegian platforms. Among those who endured, job satisfaction matched their male colleagues. The difference was not in the work, it was in the path to acceptance. Respect, when it comes, is hard-won and lasting. Women with decades offshore say the same thing. It is not comfort that keeps you here, it is confidence, and the kind of respect you cannot get in an office. Out here, there is no faking it. You either know your job or you do not. You either prove yourself or you do not. And when women do, when they have earned that respect, it is real, it is solid. The fourth week is always the hardest. By then, the excitement is gone. The finish line is still too far. Everyone is stuck in the middle, grinding through identical days. Tempers get short, patience wears thin. Small annoyances become big frustrations. For women, this is when the isolation hits hardest, when questions start surfacing about why they are doing this. Days get counted, shifts get counted, meals get counted. It is the only way to keep moving forward. But there are moments that make it bearable. Coworkers who actually listen. Supervisors who acknowledge work, not because someone is a woman, just because they did a good job. Sunsets over the ocean that remind everyone there is a world beyond these steel platforms. These moments do not erase the hardship, but they make it survivable. By week 5, something shifts. The end is close enough to feel real. The countdown gets faster. Women move through shifts on autopilot by then. Muscle memory guides them through tasks they have done hundreds of times. The scrutiny feels less intense. Or maybe they have just stopped noticing. Because here is what happens after enough time offshore. You stop caring what people think. You stop trying to prove yourself every second. You realize the ones who matter already know what you are capable of. The rest? They were never going to change their minds anyway. Veteran technicians say it best. The first year, you are proving yourself to them. The second year, you are proving yourself to you. By the third year, you do not care anymore. You just do the work. The helicopters arrive at dawn, 6 weeks offshore, and it all ends with a 20-minute flight. Women climb aboard with others and watch through windows as the rigs shrink below. Those massive steel structures, those floating cities, those prisons and proving grounds all at once. Some people never come back. The isolation breaks them. The loneliness destroys them. The weight of being constantly watched, constantly judged, constantly outnumbered, it is too much. But some do come back. They take their 2 weeks on land, and then they return. Because despite everything, they have found something out there. Maybe it is the knowledge that they can endure more than they thought possible. Maybe it is the respect that comes from proving themselves in one of the hardest environments on Earth. Or maybe it is about changing the culture, one rotation at a time, one shift at a time. Because every woman who survives offshore makes it slightly easier for the next one. Every woman who earns respect chips away at the doubt. Every woman who refuses to quit proves that this world does not just belong to men. Only 3.6% of offshore oil rig workers are women. That number has barely moved in years. Retention remains below 15% after 5 years. But the ones who stay, they are changing everything. They are demanding better equipment, better policies, better support. They are building networks and paths for other women to follow. The industry is shifting, slowly, too slowly, but it is shifting. Because here is the truth. Women can do this job. They can survive the isolation, the scrutiny, the physical demands. They can earn the respect. But they should not have to fight this hard for it. When those helicopters land back on solid ground, women get 2 weeks of freedom. 2 weeks to remember what it is like to be just another person, not one of 7. But in 2 weeks, they will board those helicopters again. They will fly back out to those platforms in the middle of the ocean. And they will do it all over again. Not because it is easy, not because it is comfortable, but because they have proven they can. And that is worth more than anything.